Now, I wanted to ask, in what ways does therapeutic recreation support mental health and support emotional well-being?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think in general, recreation and leisure, I think, is just a foundational human need. And I think oftentimes folks that in general that don't have access to recreation and leisure experiences, may have or notice, either physical or mental health challenges because of that. I think,
Mhm.
for folks who have, experienced, the COVID pandemic, we certainly kind of realized that very quickly that we didn't have access to some of those things that we did, and it was basically that, you know, within the flick of a switch, in essence, we couldn't go outside, or we couldn't go to parks, we couldn't see other people, we couldn't access programs, or be around others, and we really saw impacts of that.
Mhm.
I think in terms of therapeutic rec, um, itself, uh, again, I think it's really targeted towards individuals, again, towards strengths that people already have, as well as areas that people can continue to develop or work on to address some of those things that may have happened because of an injury or a disability or a change in life circumstance. And I think, in the end, at the end of the day, the essence of recreation and leisure, itself, like feeling like you have the time to do the things that are valuable to you, that are important to you in the way that you want to do them, with the
Mhm.
people who you want to do those activities or experiences with, really gives you the social benefits, the physical benefits. There's lots of research out there that shows that, if you're outside, just being exposed to nature helps mental health and physical health, as well as the social connection. I think, again, there's lots of research out there that shows that, just being around people, particularly in recreation activities and leisure activities, can really benefit, physical health, mental health, spiritual health, cognitive health, the whole array of ways that we think about how people can be healthy. So, yeah, I think it's basically the sky's the limit. And, I think it's just providing opportunities for folks. And therapeutic rec does that nicely and specifically because it is a systematic approach, as I said earlier, with targeted outcomes, that are meant to help individuals, again, foster those strengths and address some of those weaknesses or areas that they need to develop. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely can relate to that. Especially when I was younger, I would go on these really long walks, and specifically just getting outside and walking around, it really was beneficial for me. And I got back into that about a year ago, and it has been very, very helpful for me personally. And I'm also like thinking of a recent podcast episode we did on forest bathing. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure our YouTube team can show the little icon if anyone's interested in that episode. If you want to hear more stories, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. To support more youth by youth led projects, visit us at youthspeak.ca, where you can donate and spread youth mental health awareness.
YouthSpeak Charity. Speak, inspire, change.